Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome back to the Tea Lounge with Miss J. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, here to bring you guys another great episode of the Tea Lounge with Miss J. Of course, you guys know we are a celebrity-based podcast show where we have celebrities, we talk about various topics. I am very, very excited to be speaking with my next guest. He is a force to be reckoned with in the music industry, and his sound is very unique and powerful and has been making waves. I cannot wait for you guys to learn more about him because this is going to definitely be the music artist to know. So you guys heard it here first on the Tea Lounge with Miss J. Please, everyone, give a very, very warm welcome to F4me. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here today.
I appreciate you taking your time. Like I said, I know that, pretty soon you won't have much time. You are just blowing up here. So I'm glad you were taking this time with me today.
Yeah, oh yeah. I always have time as much as I can. I I got those humble beginnings, so I try to stay as humble as I can. I'm nobody. I'm just a regular person like everybody else.
Love the attitude. Love the attitude. Well, I'm going to fire the first question at you, Mr. Astro. What began your passion for music?
Great question. I started doing everything through band. Um, it's a funny story. I was in sixth grade. I had a neighbor that moved across the street from me, and at that age, I was really impressionable. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be cool. Yada yada. So he one day he was out in his yard and he was playing on a drum pad and was just drumming and drumming and drumming. And I'm sitting out here like, oh wow, that's cool. Just doing my oohs and ahs, like that's super cool. He told me he was in band and everything, and so school didn't even start yet. It was like that next week. I made sure that
Mm-hmm.
I enrolled in band, and I stayed in band pretty much throughout all of school, from middle school all the way to high school, and that's where the music started, right there.
Yes, band. Love it. The drums.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Uh, Kind of going on a little bit with more of that question. How would you describe your sound?
Um, that's like one of those questions that are like so hard to answer. But the best way I can say this is when I grew up, I was a military brat. Hate that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I am. A military brat. Lived all over the country, even lived abroad in Germany, things like that. So
Ooh.
I listened to so many different types of music, from EDM to country and pop and alternative and rap and just everything. To that's what my sound incorporates now. It's just a culmination of all of that with my spin on it. So if I were to say like what my sound is, it's like an ever changing or ever growing sound of, I guess you could say, hip hop, rap. It's just an evolving thing. It's going to always blend with something else.
Yes, I love that. I love the fact that you listen to country. I listen to a little bit of country too, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm originally from Tennessee, so like
Ah,
that's the
so
country.
you are in that old school country. That's what you were raised with.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Love it. Love it. For first time listeners, Astro, what song would you suggest that first time listeners of your music listen to really understand you as an artist?
Oh wow, that is great question. To this day, one of my favorite songs that I've ever created, and I wish I would have released it everywhere, but it's only available on like YouTube and SoundCloud. It's titled "One Wish." "One Wish" is my favorite song that I would have anyone listen to that's listened to me for the first time, because um, I feel like I dove into a more lyrical side of myself. And that when I say lyrical side, I don't mean with all the metaphors and everything. I just wanted to talk about a little bit more touchy subjects to me. That song specifically is speaking about my troubles in losing my former love, who I also had a baby with, and that baby ended up passing away due to SIDS. And if you don't know what SIDS is, it's called sudden infant death syndrome, where babies pretty much just pass away for no reason. So that happened when he was 3 months old. And so that event right there caused the spur for this song to get created. And that was the first time I ever made anything like that. And not only that, I kind of grew in my sound. I figured out how I wanted to present myself, when I'm doing what I do. I figured out, I don't want to say I've mastered, because I'm still working on things every day now, but I really came into tune with the base of my sound on that song specifically. And like right around the time I made that song, I also made a song called January 11th or Jan 11. Those two songs those two songs were when I really just kind of encaptured myself on how I want to just go about making songs, and everything just grew from there. So if you listen to those songs there, you will kind of know who I am in an essence, and you'll see where I'm heading.
Ooh, those are really powerful. For one, thank you for sharing that story. That is not easy to talk about. And put into music, it has to be even harder. But I give you your props for talking about it and kind of saying this is what happened. Hopefully, if someone's listening, I can help you go through the same pain. Hope you go get through it. So I appreciate you for that.
That's what it's all about, honestly. I love making music. At first, this was all just a healing process for me, and not just healing. We all have fun. We're all human, so it's not always about being sad and depressed. So like, just being able to express myself, that's what it was always about. And then now it got to the point where I realized, and with recent events and things like that, we're all going through stuff. Now, whenever you can see that we're all going through the same things, we just don't talk about them. And so now I'm like using that to talk about things and let people know, like, I'm just like you. I'm a different person, but I'm just like you. This is how I dealt with it, or this is how I'm feeling. And that just helps people. I get, contacted by people all the time, which is really great. And they're telling me how a lot of different of my songs influence them. And that's I am not where I want to be yet, but that is the greatest level of success to me right now, is because I had a goal to reach someone, just one person, and that one person hits me up randomly and says like, yo, I love this song because of this reason and this and this. Like, that is the number one reason why I'm still doing this right now. That is the number one reason, because I know that I reached somebody, and so now I know I can reach someone else and someone else. To be famous or to make it in the music industry is definitely great. That's great. That's cool. Won't take anything away from that. But to make more of an impact beyond the money or fame, that's icing on the cake right there.
Yes, you're building that longevity with your fans and with your music. So yes, I love that attitude. Yes. Kind of going on a little bit more, especially when you said influenced your music. Who do you look to? Who do you look up to music wise, and why?
Okay, great question. So one of the it's so many people, again, because I have such a wide variety of music that I listen to. Like, it goes from Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa is like Wiz Khalifa and Wiz Khalifa and Lil Wayne. Those two specifically are like my number one, like, mentors, if I would say that, or people that I just look up to in the music world and in life general. Obviously, we all know Lil Wayne. He's a legend. He's a legend that brought up legends. Grew up listening to him. Wiz Khalifa, I didn't grow up listening to him, but around high school time when he actually started coming out, I loved his chill demeanor. I love how simple he was, and that's how I make my music, to be honest. My lyrics will never be so hard to where you have to decipher everything and, have all these, metaphors on metaphors. I like that stuff, but I want you to know exactly how I feel or exactly what I'm trying to say. And Wiz Khalifa was that person to me. He was pretty straight to the point, and I just like the way he handled his music. Other than that, it goes, from I'm a real huge Taylor Swift fan. I love T Swift. She's a legend in many ways. Every record she's touching is gold. Honest to God. To Justin Bieber's, to I love Usher and Chris Brown.
Yes.
All these other people have different types of influence on me for different reasons, that all literally come to what you're listening to now, that's ever so growing.
Love it. Love it. I can get with the Lil Wayne and the Wiz Khalifa. My older brother absolutely worshipped Lil Wayne. Duffel Bag Boy was his
Yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes, that was his song. Look, I can't start my mornings without listening to Duffel Bag Boy at least once.
I hear you. Like, he was a god to me. It's still like, to this day, I love the man. He's obviously changed. He's in a different point of his career. What I usually call is like the end of it all. Like, he's at the end of it, in my opinion. But like, I would never take any credit away from that man. He created like a super big thing with his name. And I'm just one of those people, even though I don't like a lot of his music now, I'll still tap in and listen to it because I'm a real fan. I've been there since the beginning.
Yes.
He's one of the reasons why I do what I do now.
Yep, there from the beginning. I was there when he did Bling Bling, and now to Duffel Bag Boy. Yeah.
All right.
That's great. I love it. Oh, I love it. Going on to the number 5th question. Where can my Tea Lounge audience follow you and your music?
You can follow me practically anywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm not always on Twitter, but Twitter, Snapchat. You can find my music on Spotify. Pretty much any single outlet, social media wise or music wise, you can find me there. Now, most popular places that people are probably gonna find me is YouTube and Instagram. And maybe Apple Music and Spotify. But yeah, that's that. And you'll find me at the handle of 4STROF4ME.
All right, my audience, make sure you guys follow him and his music. It is amazing. I like his influences, so I definitely know I like your music. So I'm gonna check it out myself. Highly encourage everyone to check it out, your music as well. Cause I definitely want to say we hit it here first, so for sure. Going on to the number 6 question. What future projects are you involved with that you can just give a little dish about to the Tea Lounge audience?
Oh, sweet. So you guys would be the first ones to hear about this. So I pretty much been under wraps on this. I haven't. I was kind of battling myself on whether or not I wanted to do this because I have a lot of fun just doing singles. But for the last, it's August, so the last 8 months, I created a artist community known as Made Hype. I've been releasing a lot of music through Made Hype this year. I just released a song on my own personal profile like 11 days ago on the 23rd, because I've been focused on Made Hype. I'm trying to rebuild an artist community here where artists can kind of work together easily without always having to think about money. Think of that last. Let's think about creating and making great content. Let's help each other get to reach new heights together. So I've been working on that, and so a lot of the project that I'm working on now is it's unnamed, but it is it's for Made Hype, and it's gonna obviously incorporate a lot of my music because, again, since I'm the creator of all that, a lot of my music is filtered in there, but you'll hear a lot of other people that you guys will definitely want to hear. I'm saying incredible artists that are unknown to many and underrated. They're under the I used to always say the gems hidden underneath those cracks, because people with the high clout and popularity, there's always going to be people underneath there that are probably even better or just creative. That's the people that I'm working with now, and that I'm trying to help get a little bit of shine and notoriety on. So you're gonna notice that, and also on top of that, I'm working on a small EP, for myself, and that's gonna be good. It's called Astro Life. It's going to have some pretty great music on there. I just released a song again about 11 days ago called Cool. If you guys listen to that song, it's a lot of the music that I'm going to release in that particular EP is going to be along the lines of that. So more so mainstream radio, pop sounds mixed with that hip hop.
Ooh, well, I cannot wait. Me and my audience will be listening with anticipation ears. Cannot wait. Make sure you keep up to date with that because I want to make sure I check it out as soon as it hits.
Sweet, yeah. It's gonna be
Absolute.
easy
Mm-hmm.
to
All
make.
right, just got just got a few more questions there for you. What goals do you hope to accomplish in your music career?
um, so so I guess the number one goal has never been completely about myself. Since I made this whole made hype thing, it's been about creating a better artist community and not just all over the world, but specifically my area in the Pacific Northwest. We have a we used to be a very great music city, but I want us to be more like, LA, Atlanta, Miami, Houston,
Mm-hmm.
like these areas that have really a lot of musical influence. And it all starts from one person or several people kind of putting that on their backs. So I want to help people that have stories to tell, that need people to hear something great, but they're again unheard of, underrated. My whole focus right now is to help them rise up, as well as myself as well. So pretty much I have two hats on at the same time doing two jobs. A lot of people say, like, I don't know how you're doing this. I don't know why you're so selfless in an industry that demands more from you. It's because I'm trying to recreate that.
Yes.
I'm trying to curate my own thing here. I've kind of going through this for so long, you understand that it's not about you having to fit into a mold that someone else is creating for you, because we all have people and friends and just people that are more similar to us. I'm trying to tap into that fan base, the real fan base who's going to be there for me in the end. The real fan base, just like we spoke of, like Lil Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
to his music now, even though it not might not always be good. I want that for my people and for my friends and other artists that need that as well. So it's pretty much about gaining better exposure for the right people.
Yes, I love that. Reinvent the music industry. Become more selfless, give back more and create that fan base, whether good or bad.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it, Astro. Coming up to final three questions. What's some of your passions that you have outside of music?
Oh, cool. I went to school for filmmaking. I did
Ooh.
theater. I did, the whole music thing in high school and middle school and all that, but I also was super interested in theater. My biggest goal, and this is something that you guys will now know that no one else really knows. My all-time biggest goal has always been to be in movies, to be in
Ooh.
movies and to shows and things like that. Music is just another way that I have expressed myself and another way that I can reach that ultimate goal. So that is like my biggest passion, like my absolute biggest passion. I constantly write my own scripts for my music videos and just for random, short films and things that I want to do all the time. So with 2020 being the way it is, you guys are definitely going to see more of that content coming out that has nothing to do with music.
Multi-talented person that we got here. All righty. Got many hats, I see. I got to see my many hats. Love it. I cannot wait to see. It'd be really cool to see you in a movie.
Oh yeah, that'd be super great. I mean, you already see it a lot, with people like Rihanna, Chris Brown,
Yep.
T.I., you just see it a lot. And those are the names that are more, well, I would say T.I., Ludacris, those are the more successful people that have made that transition from music to film the right way. That's pretty much me. I want to do that same thing here. We're at a time period where everybody's focused on streaming, watching Netflix and stuff like that. So I want to be right there on the TV screen, making people get through this time by just watching something that's not real.
Right.
That's the coolest thing for me. I really loved listening to music when I was going through things and imagining that, and even watching movies that kind of took me out of whatever I was going through now and into what's going on in that TV. That's an amazing thing for me.
I love it. Jordan Peele, if you're listening,
Yeah,
we got
right,
somebody that's interested in being in your movie. Just saying,
right.
just saying. Just put it out there. All right, coming up to the last two questions. Astro, where are some of your favorite places to perform at?
Oh, great. So, I have performed at a few places because I've been focusing more on the creation of the music, so then I could perform more with a greater catalog. But the places that I have performed at were Jazz Bones in Tacoma, Washington. I
Whoop,
performed
whoop.
at Real Art Tacoma in Tacoma, Washington as well as Alma Mater. Those are the three of my favorite places that I've performed at. And I would say probably Jazz Bones is the better of the three. Bigger space, a better vibe there, based on the social gathering that's there. That was the one of the best places that I performed at. And more recently, I would say about the year and a half, 2 years ago, I performed there for some other local artists here at OTD Off the Dome. Really good artists there. Me and my friend Revert, we opened up for them and we just lit the place up. That was just one of the best places that I've started performing at. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers that.
Love it. Love it. I would definitely love to see you perform. I live around, the Tacoma area, so I would love to see you perform one day.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hopefully, all this stuff kind of changes so we can get back to making music and reaching people. I love making music. I love that people are finding another way to reach people through the live streaming and zooming and all
Mm-hmm.
that. But I definitely think it's not enough. Longevity wise, in order for an artist to really truly build a connection with their artist, they're gonna still need these. I'm sorry, with their fans and listeners, they need to be there at the show. I know for me personally, my first show I ever went to was a Jay-Z and Kanye concert that was in Tacoma, the Tacoma Dome. This was like 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. And again, my first concert, I love listening to both of those artists, but being around that whole environment, being around people that were doing the same thing as myself, that were really, the coolest thing is that it was just a whole huge range of people, from old to young to black and white, and just the demographic was ginormous. And that experience of singing these same songs with other people was like just a vibe that you can't get anywhere else.
Totally
The only
agree.
other feeling I've ever got like that is when I go to the movies for a big movie release with other people. That's what it's always about for me. And so I can't wait till that performance thing can come back. Hopefully,
Yes.
fingers crossed, everybody, please.
Mm-hmm. Knock on wood, fingers crossed. Yes. Yes, I'm hoping it comes back too, because I would definitely love to see some more concerts, all of that. I definitely like to see you perform.
Right. Yeah.
So for sure. Which actually brings me to my last question there, Miss Astro. How have you kept grounded through the quarantine? Has that messed up with your creativity for music? Messed up the
Um,
music flow?
no, no. I would imagine that for most people, this is not damaging or messing with their creativity, because right now it's still, this is still pretty early. It's only been about, 4, maybe 5, going on 5 months. So people still have things to talk about from, from previous times and things like that. But if this were to be longer, if this is like a year or two going on forward, that would probably be pretty damaging for the music industry. But for me personally, I had a baby. My girlfriend and I, we had a baby in April.
Oh,
420 actually. We had a baby, and I've been focused on that and music. Like literally, it's been those two things, and it's been great. I haven't had a decline in making music. I mean, sometimes you, as an artist or a creative, you have roadblocks, or you just can't really find the words you want to say or the inspiration. But I get over that easily. Yes, I've been quarantining myself, but I still find time to take myself out and go live life. I would say the number one thing for any creative, whether it's music or film or anything like that, is you have to go live your life in order to talk about life.
Yes.
Because if you're just talking about the same stuff or you're not really living, then you're not going to find any greater inspiration or maybe better sounds to come up with. I mean, if you just look into how the industry is now, every major artist that you've ever listened to, when they come out with their big album, after that album is done and their touring is done, they're quiet for a couple years or a year, or or maybe a couple years. Why? Because they're living their life and they're gaining this inspiration for their next piece of work. And so that's what I'm constantly doing, just constantly trying to gain that inspiration. So that would be my advice to anybody out there that's creating, is even though we are in a hard time, still try to maintain creativity, still try to live your life so you can pass these experiences and in words on to someone else.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Love it. Mr. Astro, your way of thinking and your and your perspective is a very fresh, it's a breath of fresh air. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I cannot wait for hopefully all this stuff to be over. Because again, like I said, I would like to hear more music from you. I would like to see you perform. But other than that, I appreciate talking with you. It's been amazing. It's been such a pleasure.
Oh yeah, the same here. I definitely appreciate you. It's been, I'd say the one struggle that I've had is being I guess too creative, if that's even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Want to focus more on, making this art and this music rather than the business side of it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why, a lot of you have not heard interviews. A lot of you haven't heard of me because I've been focused on making this music and kind of pushing this on the streaming platforms and things like that. But I'm glad this opportunity is here because now I'm getting that rolling. I'm allowing, I want you guys to know who I am behind that music. I love hearing what you guys like to say about the music that I've come out with, but now it's always great for you guys to actually hear from the horse's mouth what it really is, or what that person's really about. So thank you for that.
Yes, the man behind the music. Yes. Yes. I appreciate you for giving me your thoughts. I really appreciate you. I really like how your perspective and you wanting to be selfless in the business. That to me is such a breath of fresh air. It really is. And I appreciate you. You're willing to talk about hard topics in your music. That's what I feel we need more for sure. So people can feel normalized and people can feel like, hey, somebody out there has definitely gone through the same thing I'm going through.
Right.
I want to hear it. So I appreciate you that a tons.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. And of course, I want to encourage my audience one more time. Make sure you follow and support and give love to Astro Flame. Like I said, he is a hot rising star right now, and his music is definitely making waves. And like he just said, he's willing to, he's ready for people to see the man behind the music. So, so make sure you guys give him his love and support. And make sure you guys check out his music, of course, his EP that's going to be dropping out here soon. So, but I do want to thank you one more time, Mr. Astro Flame. Thank you for giving my audience, your thoughts, and thank you for speaking with me today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you all.
All right, of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson. I will be back with another great episode of the Tea Lounge with Miss J. But until then, everyone, please have a beautiful day. Thank my guest one more time, Mr. Astro Flame. Make sure you guys check him out. And until then, mwah! Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.